It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hi, everybody. Super excited to be here with you with my beautiful friend, Alexandria. This is Coach Crazy Cat with the Divas That Care Network, and this is the Journey Through Stuck channel. Join all of the amazingness of all the ladies and all the women who are sharing inspiration at www.divasthatcare.com. Sorry. All right. Today, I'm super excited to share some really, really, really cool thoughts about your space from my friend Alexandria. And if you've ever thought something's off, or you've been spending a lot of money and repainting and buying new furniture and throwing things out, and you're just like, something's off and I can't quite put my finger on it, then you have to hear this discussion, because it's really going to help you to create a space that is useful, comfortable, affordable, and helps you to get that warm feeling, which you should have when you go home after a long day's work. So welcome, Alexandria. I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you for jumping on.
Thanks, Kat. I'm excited to be here. This is fun.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about Come Alive Interior Design and how you're helping people to turn their spaces into their own. What makes you different?
Well, Kat, one thing that really makes me different is instead of just having my branding around a certain design style, I have my branding around the individual. And that really means I love to get to know them, and I love to help them understand what they're drawn to in design, what they're drawn to and why they're drawn to it, because then it will not only help me in manifesting who they are in their space, but also helps them understand why they're connected with what they're connected with, or even interestingly enough, why they really shy away from certain things in design. And then I help pull that together in their space so that when they walk in, they're like, yes, this is me. This is who I am. It functions the way I need it to function. And it's me personified.
Oh, that just sounds awesome. I could picture it as you were talking. I could picture it in my head, walking in, and the spaces, it needs to do what you need it to do with kids, family, because we've all got, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a mom of 3, which brings me to my next kind of question. So I was picturing the space as you were talking, and then you're a mom of 3, so you understand what it's like to want to create a space that's beautiful but functional, survivable. And so how do you pull all that together? How do you create a space that's so pretty around being a mom?
When it's you, when it has elements that are so unique to yourself, that's where the beauty comes in. And I also tell my clients, is there something of value? If it could be a photograph, it could be a painting someone did for you. Is there like a jewelry box? Is there something that you want in the space that immediately when you look at it brings you a joyful emotion? For me, I've done that a little bit in my bedroom, and it was amazing when the things were out finally, from their little hidey holes, and they were out, and I was like, oh, that's my grandpa up there. Oh, that's something my dad gave me. And it was just so powerful. And then, yes, with the functionality, as long as you have those elements that speak to you, it can be elaborate, it can be very minimalist, it can be whoever you are, and still function the way your family needs it to be. If you need cubbies for toys, if you need better organization in your closet, all of that's possible because you've already connected to the space emotionally.
That is just awesome. And I love that, because way back a long time ago, I I have tried that where you buy all the stuff and then I had no confidence to decorate. So I just kept my house all white.
Yeah.
And then my aunt came and I picked out one sofa that I loved. And I loved the colors in that one sofa. And then everything kind of fit together. So it's really, there's a couple of things. I love how you're talking about connecting it with their emotion and things that are important to them, because that makes such a huge difference. So let's talk a little bit about how you created this business. And we were talking ahead of time, but you were a mom, and your oldest had to spend 11 days in the hospital on life support. So you bring home the little guy and you're like, I've got to do something different. I can't keep going into the office and spending time away from him. I want to do something else. And then, like a lot of us ladies, you went on this seeking expedition and went in and out of various network marketing companies, and just nothing fit. But then you found this and it fit. So tell us a little bit about that journey and how you came to what fit for you from a business perspective.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Kat. Yeah. So when my oldest, he was 11 days old, he was on life support for 13 days, and 14 days, they say they don't make it. So he got off on, 13 days on full life support. So just barely. And then it was quite a process from there. But yeah, when he finally got home, I just felt this guilt of, I'm so blessed to be a mom, but I need something for me. And so I knew it needed to be at home. I knew I didn't want to do anything outside the home that was going to pull me away from my family and pull me away from that priority. But I needed something that would develop myself and that would have that fulfillment personally. And so, like you said, I spent the next 12 years in many, many, many different multi-level marketing companies trying to figure out who I was and who I wanted to become, and to bring that extra income to my family. And that was a very difficult, painful, expensive journey, right? But looking back, now that I'm doing this business, I see the reasoning. I see that God was really just using all those experiences to prepare me for now. But what the turning point was, is I decided that I really wanted to no longer be on the front lines in multi-level marketing. I wanted to be in the background. I wanted to be on the corporate side. I wanted to be in a position that I could help empower a lot more women, a lot more moms, by teaching them the skills and the things that I had learned in multi-level marketing. So I came across this brand new company and was really excited because I wanted to work corporate side with them. And they were like, well, we don't have a position. And I was like, well, so you're telling me I have value. You're telling me you need me. You're telling me I could help you, and you don't have a position, but you're new. I'm like, it's a new company. Just create the dang position and give it to me. Right.
Yeah.
So there was resistance there. And so I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go through this program and I'm going to be their top sales rep, and I'm going to convince them that I'm awesome. This was my thinking, right? So I went to this business training. A friend referred me to this business training. You had to go in through a referral. And the second day, and I was kind of frustrated because they were teaching me all these wonderful things and I couldn't make any changes to this company. I wasn't in that position, right? And the second day I was able to sit down with one of their amazing coaches, and he told me, Alex, you know what your problem is? Your problem is you're a CEO and you're acting like an employee. And so that was so powerful to me. I mean, that was just like somebody hitting me on the head with a very powerful love stick. But I mean, it just kind of rattled my brains a little bit. I'd never thought of that concept before. And so I was bawling to him and I was like, what could I possibly do? And even other people at that training had noticed that I was talking about interior design. I was picking up on things. I was telling them what I would do different. And I'd always been that way. I mean, I'd been doing that for years, just for fun. And he's like, well, what about interior design? And I was like, but I live in Garland, which is this teeny tiny town in Utah that hardly anybody has heard about. It goes right by the freeway, you blink and it's gone, right? And so with him, I was able to kind of mull it around of okay, this is what I love. This is what I could do. And he was like, so just even what would you do in this office? You know, kind of testing me to help me show my confidence. And I was like, well, for one, this is not your office. Because I've always been really intuitive about people, right? And so I was like, this is not your office. And if it were, this is what I would do. And he was like, you're amazing. And I was like, yeah. You know, so I left that training with Come Alive Interior Design LLC and my first client. And from there, I've taken it from a virtual, and I can still do some virtual in helping with people long distance. But I really just love getting in front of people and finding out who they are and helping them discover who they are and manifesting that in their space, because we are such interesting puzzles, beautiful puzzles. And there's beauty in all of us, and nobody sees that. Nobody sees that beauty. But if we can manifest it into our space, then not only does it give us permission to be who we are authentically, but then it's a way for other people to walk in and say, this is who you are. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I love it. And it's this whole different kind of love that's coming to you. It's amazing.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And the thing is about our homes and our spaces, it's an investment and you're going to be there for a while. So the feeling that you have day after day really does contribute to the overall feeling of your whole life.
Yeah.
So the last question is just about that, is about interior design as an investment. You know, and that's probably one of the questions that you get a lot. So how do people look at hiring someone like you, and that it is really an investment because they're going to save time, money, aggravation, just the priceless feeling of coming home and loving your space. So talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So first of all, it saves you a lot of time and stress, because you don't know what you want until you know what you want, right? It's kind of that catch-22 scenario. I've had clients that will finally come to me and say, I've been mulling around this for years. I've even tried friends and family who say that they're interior designers and, you know, and bought stuff that I don't want and I can't connect to. And they're like, so all those years and all those dollars wasted. And now I come in and I can work with their budget and deliver to them, even just sometimes it's really small changes, sometimes it's the whole space, but then it's them and the peace of mind they didn't even know was possible.
Right.
You know, at first they have that struggle with that trust and the kind of letting go, but I tell them up front, I do not make any purchases without your permission. I make sure you love it before you buy it. I bring you any samples that I can possibly have so that you can start envisioning the space with me, because I understand it's hard. It's sometimes really hard for people to let go of that control. And they're kind of going through this process of sloughing off everybody else's conceptions of who they think they ought to be to find their authentic selves. And at first, sometimes when I show them that design collage, they're going, oh, I love that. You know, our first initial reaction can be what other people are going to think. Yeah. But when they get over that, they're like, this is me. I love this. And that's amazing. And that to me is priceless. But the investment to your home, it can help your resale value. It helps the value of your home go up, especially when you're bringing things that are more unique, crown moldings, or I have some paneling in my home throughout the home, which makes it more on trend, which increases its intrinsic value even on the market, because people who are buying are looking for that. So, and then just like one of my clients who was buying stuff and giving it and sending it back for 4 years. And
Okay.
the time and the energy and the money that she's now saving, just having completed a project with
As
me.
you were talking, just even having somebody having you help so that you didn't have to go around to all the furniture stores. You know what I mean? And just looking, and then you get so
Yep.
overwhelmed because, you know, one store has it one way and one store, and you like this piece and that piece, but pulling it together is so hard. Oh,
Exactly.
well, this is like awesome. And I know there have to be so many listeners out there who are like, I've got to talk to Alexandria. So how do they get in touch with you? How do they find you?
Well, the best way is always the most direct. I do have a website they can go to, but I just even recommend finding me on Instagram or finding me on Facebook. It's Come Alive Interior Design on Facebook and on Instagram, or my personal page on Facebook, which is Alexandria Manning 741, because apparently there's a lot of Alexandria Mannings out there. But in that photo, I think I'm actually sitting here. So when you're looking for my profile picture on Facebook, it's like pretty much this.
So awesome.
They just message me from there.
That's awesome. Well, I'll make sure that we have the links out there too. And if it's one of my friends and you're watching this and you're like, I'd really like to speak to her, I'll introduce you. She's awesome. And it just sounds really cool, the furniture options that she has, where you were explaining that you got things that are handmade from all over the world. And so these are pieces that know what you're not going to walk into someone else's house and see this. It sounds really
cool. I'm able to work directly with the manufacturers and vendors that do not allow the public to just walk into their store and buy things. So I'm able to provide those from lighting to your home to laying down the rugs and everything in between. Wow.
So if you're getting a new space, which a lot of people are moving because interest rates are low, and you're like, hey, I want to start fresh, she can help you with that. Or if you're just like, you want to start one room at a time, she can do anything. Work remotely or in person. So hit her up, guys. Thank you. This has been so much fun.
It has been. Thank you, Kat. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you guys for listening. Let us know how we can help.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.